Hey everyone, welcome to this week's edition of the CertiK Security Leaderboard Showcase. I'm your host, Munir Jalal. As you all know, in the showcase I host a guest for a live AMA where we discuss their work with CertiK, the Security Leaderboard, and we throw in some live questions from you, the viewers. Our goal is to raise the standards of security in the Web3 ecosystem. The Security Leaderboard can be found at CertiK.com. It's a free tool to help you safely navigate the blockchain world. Today, I'll be joined by Melos Studio. They're contributing $500 worth of token for today's top live questions. Make sure you read the rules on the Twitter post at CertiK Community in order to qualify for the rewards. Let's go ahead and take a look at the video of Melos Studio.
Auditing is a complicated and essential step in the security process. At CertiK, we review the top DeFi projects to help you better understand the findings from our experts. Melos Studio is a paradise for pioneering musicians and is committed to creating a self-sustaining and liberated ecosystem for pioneer music. This audit covers Melos Studio on the Binance Smart Chain platform. The project summary describes the audit and the types of analyses used. Overview shows the programming language, the blockchain used, and a link to the project's codebase. The vulnerability summary lists issues that need resolution. The audit scope displays which contracts were audited. Findings highlight all issues and ranks them in terms of severity, from critical to discussion. In this audit, we found 1 critical, 3 major, 0 medium, 5 minor, and 6 informational issues. Melos Studio has acknowledged all of the issues. Visit CertiK.com for the full report.
Great. Now let's go ahead and bring on our guest, Yaolu Lin, the co-founder of Melos Studio.
Hi. Thanks for having me. It's very a pleasure to be here.
Welcome. I'm thrilled as well. It only seems like just a couple of hours ago when we were doing another AMA on your side of the fence. Love to have you on here as well. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself and give us some background about Melos Studio?
Of course. Yeah. Melos Studio is the destination for creating, discovering, and collecting original music on Web3. It is a music entire new and unique blockchain-based creative earning music ecosystem. Now, the core vision of Melos is to create a new ecosystem where all music lovers can participate in creation of music and be rewarded for their efforts. So whether you are a casual music lover or a professional seasoned musician or producer, you can find tools and features on Melos that allows you as a user to enjoy and play music and take NFT to a new dimension, a new level.
Yeah. I mean, music NFT sounds pretty damn cool. I think, obviously I come from a little bit of background of trying to learn how to play guitar, and I do like music myself. Tell me a bit about your team, and have they got any previous experience in music as it relates to this project?
Of course. Well, let's start with myself then. Because I first got into crypto in 2018, and I just fell in love with this technology and couldn't stop thinking about this. And later on in 2019, I joined a project called MachiX from the very beginning. And back at the time, it was a music copyright platform. So as patrons, supporters, they can trade and collect music copyright tokens on MachiX. And back in the days, we listed 59 different songs from Golden Melody Award winning artists. That one of the songs actually was listed on Binance X. MachiX still is a project listed on Ethereum Foundation. You can check it out on the website. That's where I learned a lot about music industry and blockchain application. And after that, I was talking to another friend, Jim, who has been a developer throughout his entire career and also a musician since his childhood. So we started talking about how music creation or music is going to be on Web3, and that's how we started discussing about the basic fundamental ideas about Melos Studio. So we started writing the white paper and everything, and later on, soon later, Vera and Leo both joined And Leo is a senior coder developer, and Vera is experienced in marketing operation and is a part-time singer. So that's how we started.
Excellent. That sounds interesting how your paths came together here. As we all know, there are many music NFT projects out there in the market today. But tell me a little bit of how Melos is different from other music NFT projects. And more so, which point of Melos do you think is the most attractive to users?
Right. To start with, we use NFT very differently from most other projects. Most other NFT projects use NFT as like a storage medium to store image files or video files or music files. At Melos here, we use NFT as we call a proof of creation or co-creation. Let me take this example. So say Aditi has a music inspiration and she plays it out on piano and upload to Melos and mint as NFT. And this stage we call it music blocks. And Bob comes along and sees Aditi's work, Aditi's piano work, and buys it and adds his guitar to it. And then the next person comes and buys Bob's work, which includes Bob's guitar and the piano from Aditi. And this third person can add her own drum, and then the fourth person can add a violin. So you see, this kind of creation process, it's like a GitHub. It's like GitHub for music creation process. So I think that's something very special about Melos Studio creation process to create this kind of creation process. And there are a few good takeaways that we can see from here. Like first is that you see because all the co-creation and creation process are on chain, then when a later generation of NFT is sold, we can trace back to the previous co-creators and profit share. So part of the profit that's sold in the later generation can be traced back and shared to the previous generation co-creators. And also when people interact with the content itself, it's like you can find your fan who can also help you create your music. So eventually this can branch out, and of course people interact with this, and it's going to be a community and eventually going to turn into a DAO and a very open, democratic, creative ecosystem.
Yeah, and that sounds really a creative platform for people to use. I like the reference to GitHub as well. It gives it that like openness and creativity in it, right? And obviously to track changes as you go along. Let's just talk a little bit about musicians coming to the platform for the first time. What advice would you give them when they first start onto the Melos platform?
Right. Well, first of all, we do want to make it clear that Melos welcomes all talented musicians all over the world. Musicians, when you hear this, you can nominate yourself on our Discord as Discord.gg and Melos, or go to our website. And on the bottom right of the page, there is I am a musician link. Just click on it as a form. You can sign up, and we'll help you get on board. And you can see you can post your demos, your music experience and everything, and post on your Twitter so everybody can know you. So and promote your music and NFT in our community. And there are already like 1,100 plus musicians, indie and emerging musicians from all over the world. So come join us.
Yeah, you make me want to sign up myself. Although I don't know what my level of music is at this point. Maybe I should just not go there yet. I don't know.
Give it a try.
Give it a try. Yeah. Just moving on a little, changing topics slightly. Are Melos Studio NFTs tradable on other platforms?
Oh yeah, right now we're on BSC, Binance Smart Chain, and we are also getting on Ethereum main chain. So, of course, this moment we are on platform. You can find our music NFTs on our platform, and also we do cooperate with Binance NFT Marketplace. So you can also find Melos branded NFTs on Binance NFT Marketplace as well.
pretty flexible. A little bit on the support side. What kind of support will Melos give to musicians in terms of music creation and even income? What are your thoughts on that?
Right. On top of that, sign up help. We also do kind of like creation support for the musician. There's like regular event that we host. We call it the Sound of the Week, and that gives the emerging musician a platform or an opportunity to get exposure and promote their music through NFT. And right now we're doing an 80-20% split between the artists to run this Sound of the Week. And cool. The format is in a mystery box or just open NFT. And it's a limited edition, and artists just come and we'll help them to create their own Sound of the Week page. Where they can display their NFTs, and the buyer of this NFT, the first buyer, the initial buyers of this NFT, have the opportunity to leave a comment there, and that comment will later on also be NFT. So that will be a memorable moment for them. So I think that's pretty good, cool feature for music NFT as collectible. And if they do wish later on, when we have our full feature of virtual band set. They can be co-created as well, but of course that will have to be agreed upon by the original artists themselves.
Yeah, it sounds like it's signing like an album, right? To keep a comment on what down. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Switching over a little bit to kind of tokenomics with Melos. Can you give me a brief overview of Melos token economics and token applications?
Of course, yeah. They're going to be. Melos token is going to be. It is a utility token and a DAO token. For utility, there are a lot of advanced features that we are going to announce later this year. That will require either staking or consuming Melos token in order to gain access to those functions. And also, it's going to be a DAO token, so there are going to be a lot of community discussion in terms of like the NFT and Melos token. Economic structures and the mining structures. So that's going to through a lot of DAO community goals.
Excellent. Tell me a bit about your supporters, specifically for the projects. How will they, how they will support development of the Melos studio?
Right. All what I said is actually on white paper. So if you go check out on white paper, you can actually find it on our website as well. Go to melos.studio and go to the bottom of the page. There's going to be a white paper link. And also, one thing that we didn't put on the white paper is the supporter. We're actually very proud of having Binance Labs, Data Labs, Innovian, NGC Venture, Multi-Chain Capital, and Crypto PH as our investor partner. They've been very helpful to us and been helping us a lot about this.
Cool. Well, I'll definitely check out the white paper. Switching over here to security, my favorite subject. Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us why you chose CertiK.
Oh yeah, because CertiK is one of the best in the industry. There's no doubt about that. So we did choose CertiK, and we do thank you for providing us the support and advice when auditing our smart contract and our project.
That's good to hear, and thank you for the endorsement. Looking a little bit through on the report itself, obviously you see that we noticed there's a number of major and minor issues that were discovered and were resolved as well, which was great. You did, however, leave a major centralization issue unresolved. Can you speak to why you chose to acknowledge the issue for now and not resolve it, or if you have plans in the future resolving the issue?
Yeah, definitely going to resolve this in the future developments. Like at this stage, like on our platform, we have features established, the fundamental or the first version of features announced, developed and announced in this stage, and we are continuing improving and bringing more features and more upgrades. So those are going to be solved in the future upgrades. And we did keep a centralization issue part that we didn't solve because we still kind of want to keep a little flexibility there, but it's not really a major problem there for the users. So and that's going to be solved later on.
Okay, awesome. That's good to hear. And on the note of just changes coming up or changes in the future, what are our next steps and what are upcoming plans for Melos?
Yeah, so I was saying, I think most important is the security and also the entire user experience, the user interface. The example is the sound of the week. At the very beginning, we Melos started as a music creation platform. But then there are just so many independent and emergent artists that coming on board, and so we did listen to them, and we created this Sound of the Week homepage section for the musicians to better display their work, and they loved it, and we'll continue working towards this direction. But we did not forget about what we promised on the white paper about the creation. So we also developing what we call it the virtual band, where people can co-create work in different time and different places, and it will be just as easy as using like Google Document or Google Sheets. You can work in different places, different time zones, and work online, virtually online, with different music terms and different music loops altogether. So that's going to be amazing. And we also have many other features and applications regarding to music and NFTs. One of my favorite is the Sonos NFT. You see, like there are so many graphical profile picture NFTs out there. You have elements of graphic elements, and you just mix and match and generate like 10,000 of these NFTs. We can do the same thing with music. And wow, that means, that means, for example, if you have a project with 10,000 NFTs, we can develop 10,000 different background music for each one of them, and each one of them will be unique. So that is going to be very fun to interact with many other projects out there. So that's something that we're very excited with.
Well, let's hear from the community and others going live here. Let's jump through and look at some questions, if we could. Okay, I'm not seeing many questions coming in here.
Do you have any questions you want to?
Yeah, if you have any questions, please type them in the comments and ask. Okay, we got one from Javier Liandi, and he asks, or she, I don't know, but most users are still not aware of blockchain and its related project. So how is this project platform create awareness about their project with non-crypto users too as well?
Right. I think actually that's quite a good question. For music, like everybody listens to music, and we are a music project doing NFT on Web3. So I think a lot of people who listen to music can come and try and become from something that they are familiar with, music, something people are familiar with, and they can come to our platform and try and see. And of course, we do promote. And we do work with some branded artists. So for example, we just announced yesterday that we Method Man and Capadonna, members of Wu-Tang Clan, are joining to work with Melos Studio, and of course that's going to bring the fans here as well. So that's something to bring awareness. And I do go to a lot of AMAs like this and promote our own brand as well.
Excellent. Great. Let's pick another question here. I think the question is, I'll read it out. If I purchase music in Metal Studio, can I use it in YouTube or not?
Right. Melos Studio do not own the copyright of those music. The copyright is still with the creator or co-creators. So the straightforward answer is, the shorter answer is no. You can't use it in YouTube. But if you want to co-create in Melos, that's okay, because that's within our terms and conditions. So if you use it within Melos and co-create that, and one day when the music's ready and you can you can discuss with the previous co-creators, and together you can sign all mutual agreements with all the people, all the co-creators, and we'll be able to use it on YouTube or Spotify or anywhere else, and you can gain your own royalties with them as well.
That makes sense as well. And obviously, we're coming from a world here of music where there's copyright and stuff like that, so it's makes sense for sure. What kind of music genre does Melos focus on? Is it open for everyone? That's a question from C10.
Yeah. Right now we do have a lot of. Okay, first, to answer your question, there's no restriction to any genre or any type of music. It's really open to all kind of music. We do right now, like, I think on our platform we do have the stats on our platform. Most of music is in electronic music, so like EDM, electronic dance music, and there are a lot of hip hop music as well, and also a lot of like jazz and classical music. So really has all kinds all throughout, and it's pretty open. It's open to everyone. Like, we have tools to create music even for music newbies. There's a virtual piano, let's say, and you can just key in a few music notes and you'll compose some music for you. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and there is many genres on music, so I good to hear there's no restriction on that. Jumping here of another question. So Mashur Ali Wani, for Melos, the question is, how are they going to maximize the utility of token, and what they'll do when Melos emissions end? Maybe you can answer that.
Yeah, I think token is designed to distribute for the next 10 years. So I don't think that's really, well, when the token distribution is all distributed in the marketplace, I mean, we can still consume some of them and adjust the consuming rate so that it doesn't dry out, so per se. So when it's like really floating in the marketplace, and we still consume token on our marketplace, I mean, we can adjust those percentage and decrease the consuming rate. So that's still okay.
That does make sense as well. Let's get a few more questions here. Question from Stelezar. What was the biggest hurdle you saw in the development of the project, and how do you see positioning your project in the NFT space?
Right. This is an interesting question. I think most difficult part of the development has to be, well, put it this way: music is something that can never be any physical form. It can always be just virtual form. So it's kind of art, and NFT does give an opportunity to be digitally owned as collectible, or in our case, interactive collectible. But there are this concept sometimes quite difficult for people to understand, to comprehend, because when you see a graphical NFT as a visual, and human although it's more sensitive to audio-wise, but it's easier to comprehend when they see something. So we captured this music NFT into capture music into an NFT, and we do need people to find time and sit down and listen to this music. So I think that is the most difficult part for people to transition from music into NFT. If that makes sense. So usually people just listen to music, and now people want to own a piece of music and actually play with it. That's slightly a different story. I think there is a little gap between that.
You're now getting them to get involved in that, so be creative rather than just do it. So it's a different. I mean, it's a good connection, of course, but you're getting the creators to move into that space, right, of wanting to put together music. So I like that. Go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No problem. No, I'm just saying that's why we do have a lot of independent musicians who are already in the music industry, and they are also very curious and interested in the NFT and blockchain technology. And they come in, and we help them that they try, and they also bring their friends here, and that's how I think the most smooth onboarding journey can look like. Yep,
for sure. Yeah. Looking at here for more. That's an interesting question. I think it's a good one. But obviously advice for people who are just getting into NFT. What's the best wallet to keep NFT secure? If somebody's getting into NFT, any recommendations on there? You can give multiple if you want, or you don't have any. That's okay as well.
No, I think all the cold wallets are secure enough. To some certain degree. I mean, in terms of a wallet, it's secure. But I also think that if you look at NFT, there are a lot of like phishing, and I guess phishing is most easily security problem that you can see. So I think if you do click on something and your MetaMask or whatever wallet you're using, there's a signature to pop up, you do have to read the signature before you actually approve and sign it. Otherwise, your asset can be just transacted and gone.
Yep, that's good. Well, I think we'll end it there. I think we're coming up to time here. I do want to thank you for being on our show.
Thank you for hosting me.
Thank you for being on here as well. So, again, thanks for everybody for joining us. Be sure to subscribe to our show, of course, and we will see you next time.